Hey, hi everyone. Yes, okay. Yes, thank you so much everyone for taking time out to attend today's info session. I do hope that through today's info session, you'll also have a better understanding of the challenge statements that were put forth by the CSOs. So without further ado, I'll just proceed to give a very quick overview of what BM is, why we choose to do BM, as well as this current cycle that we're doing as well. Yes, why was BM even started in the first place? It's because we want to develop innovations to solve some of the biggest problems that we see in the built environment sector. The built environment sector is known to be traditionally very fragmented and at times quite abortive in nature, especially when it comes to labor. And sometimes it may not be the most sustainable sector as well. So we want to provide a space for people to develop this innovation. But more than just innovation being created, we also want this to be a platform for solution providers to test bed these solutions such that the industry can confidently say that, hey, these solutions have been test bedded before, they have been validated, and they actually work for me and they help to address some of these problems that I face in my daily work. So that is something that we want to do as well to validate these solutions. The third thing that we want to do is to help our local ecosystem build up its innovation capabilities. We believe that through this approach of open innovation, it provides a platform for us to develop some of these capabilities, such that the BE sector on its own isn't just a laggard when it comes to embracing technology, but it is with the hope that it can also be seen as a forerunner alongside many other sectors when it comes to embracing technology. And lastly, why BM was created is to promote partnership between innovators as well as industry firms itself. Because more often than not, we realize that innovation on its own, it's a very dynamic, it's a very fast-moving concept. And sometimes it can be daunting for industry firms to navigate this space. So we hope that through BM itself, it can serve as a bridge for corporates, industry firms to work with these innovators so that they are able to keep pace with the rate of technology development as well as be more abreast of the latest technological developments or products that are being ideated to solve some of these big problems that we see in the sector. So yes, next slide. So to date, BM, we have launched six program cycles since February 2019. So this current cycle will be the sixth one we have done so far. And to date, we have addressed more than 100 challenge statements that were identified by more than 70 industry firms. And over the past five cycles, we have also awarded more than 50 projects to help everyone make sense of these numbers to develop a better appreciation of these numbers. I would say that these numbers, they validate our approach. It goes to show that the open innovation approach is the right concept. And why I say so is because BM being an open innovation program, we often start with identifying the problems first. What are the problems that are faced by the industry? Only then we will then invite solution providers to come in so that we can see how these solutions could actually be matched to these problems. And I think this solves a big problem that we often see in the innovation ecosystem, and that is a lack of product market fit. You often see startups having solutions, looking for a problem to solve, and not the other way around. But I see, looking at these numbers today, I think it's a very huge encouragement to all of us. And it is precisely these numbers that keep us doing what we do, because we see that time after time, challenge statements after challenge statements have been addressed by these solutions that were co-developed through BM. And more pertinently, we've also provided this platform that empowers solution providers to develop their solution as well. So, yeah, next slide. So generally speaking, the thematic pillars of BM itself spans across these different themes. For the benefit of those who are slightly newer to BM, generally these thematic pillars, they point to the key focus areas of BCA's industry transformation maps. They are cross-cutting across a few wider themes, namely digitalization, productivity, as well as sustainability. Um, but through this through this current cycle, with the challenge statements that we have gathered, these challenge statements have converged on a few areas, and these are the areas that are marked in red, as you can see here. We have robotics and automation. Site safety is also another one. We also have quite a few challenge statements that address the idea of digitalization, how we can actually automate some of these workflows, how can we also bring about some of the time savings, especially with workflows that are more manual in nature. And lastly, there's also the idea of sustainability as well. Um, so sustainability in itself is not so much of sustainability solely on the FM front as well. We're also looking at how we can help some of these companies better access sustainability standards and practices as well. So yes, you hear more of this from the respective challenge statement owners in the in the breakout rooms later on. So yes, next slide. So with this current cycle, these are the challenge statement owners that are ready to work with you. So just to allow everyone to have a better appreciation of these names as well. Some of these names are actually repeated CSOs, whereas we have some new faces as well. Repeated CSOs would include Panther Ocean, Moser, Tron as well. But there are also some new faces that we see here today, the likes of GWS Living Art, as well as Woha Architect, and even Singhai E as well. So I think I hope that through this info session, later on as you go to the different breakout rooms, you'll also leave having a better appreciation of the challenge statements that these CSOs are looking to address. So yes, next slide. So with this current cycle, this is how the general timeline looks like. We launched the program on September 5th, so that was last month. Um, and we're going to be accepting applications from here on. Yeah. So the early submission deadline is less than a week. It will be on the 8th of October. But of course, the final submission deadline, the hard stop itself, would be the end of this month, which would be the 31st of October. What's going to happen after this is that we're going to commence the process of evaluating and shortlisting these applications, of which we will work closely with the shortlisted innovators to develop a detailed proposal for further evaluation. After that, we will then evaluate the project in greater detail. And once that is done, we hope to have the projects kick off around February to March of next year. Yep. Next slide. So once again, for the benefit of those who are newer to BM, this is how the program is structured. As I mentioned before, BM being an open innovation program, it adopts a problem-first approach. So prior to launching the program on September, we were actually speaking with the industry, engaging the industry, and gathering the various challenge statements that they have on hand before we actually launched the program with the finalized problem statements. So where we're at currently is innovation sourcing, where we are opening the application to solution providers or startups. So for people who are keen to sign up, this is how the program is generally structured. Like people who apply can apply through two tracks. The first track that we see is the accelerate solution development phase. So this phase will be more applicable for solution providers whose products may be at an earlier stage itself. Maybe at this point in time, you do not have a prototype, or even a minimum viable product to begin with, then the accelerate solution development phase will be more applicable to you. With a duration ranging between 3 to 6 months, there is a funding cap of up to 50,000, or whichever is lower. If your qualifying cost is lower than 50,000, we will still sponsor up to 50% of the qualifying cost. And the deliverable of this specific track is to develop a MVP at the end of the day, such that at least we have a prototype as an outcome to show for this track. Now, moving on to the market development track, this is more for solution providers who already have a MVP or a prototype in place, but you realize that, hey, in order for my product to be more market ready, perhaps I need to make a further refinements or developments along the way. Then this is where market development would be more applicable to you, because it is really meant for the purpose of test bidding and piloting technology itself. Once again, ranging between 12 to 18 months, there is a funding cap of up to 250,000, or if your qualifying cost is lower than 250,000, we will provide funding support of up to 50% of it. A relatively new track that we have introduced in the previous cycle 5, would be the commercial trials track. We realized that this track is especially helpful for BM participants when it comes to early market entry, early market penetration. So the whole idea of commercial trials is to provide funding for small volume production, such that our BM applicants also have an early head start in entering the market itself. Having talked about all these different tracks, the whole idea of having these different tracks is to really prepare all this innovation or developments rising out of BM to be closer towards industry adoption. BM, we are not just a platform for the sole purpose of creating innovation. We want to create innovation for a purpose, and that is innovation that is useful for the industry to adopt. It is with our greatest hope that eventually, when the industry adopts some of these products that came out of BM, that this industry itself, the BE sector itself, also modernizes and is also at the forefront of embracing technological changes as well, where we often find better ways to do things. So yes, moving on to the next slide. So having spoken at length about BEAMP, now we're going to talk about the submission process. And with that, I hand over the time to Diva. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much, Jiaming. Hope everyone got good context of the BEAMP program right now. And you may also visit the challenge site, the BEAMP site, to get more information about the program, and also check out the FAQs for potential questions that you might have beyond what was introduced by Jiaming. Now, to go through the application process, first of all, please visit the BEAMP site. The URL is www.beamp.sg. That will take you straight to the BEAMP challenge site. Don't worry, later we will also flash a QR code for you to scan. Next slide. And once you're on the site, you will see cycle 6, the option to click on cycle 6 on the top. Once you click on cycle 6, that's going to bring you to the dedicated page for this cycle and its challenge statement. Once you're there, once you have checked the challenge statements and you feel there are relevant challenge statements for you to attend, then please proceed to click Apply Now. Next slide. And that will bring you down to the Apply Now section. And here we have also attached a submission guide. And this submission guide is in the form of a deck that will help you to guide you in structuring your entire submission deck according to the evaluation criteria and all the requirements of this program, which will really get you up to speed in building that deck. And once you have good overview of the guide, then the next step is to go into the submission form. Next slide. So the form starts with a very basic information. It's quick to fill. Next slide. And once the form is filled and you have completed your submission deck, this could be in the format of PDF or a couple of documents, and that should be not more than 10 MB. And if it is, please do a compression of that file and attach it accordingly. Otherwise, if it's too large, you may also upload it into your drive and just add a link for us to access your deck. Then once all of these segments are complete, next slide, you may choose to keep your entry in draft mode. That means you can still go ahead and edit your entry till you feel you are 100% satisfied. And then you can then proceed to review answers. And once you are really satisfied with everything, you can then proceed to hit submit, which is in the next slide. So by hitting the submit button at the bottom, you will then secure an entry for the program. Next slide. So as I mentioned earlier, so the submission guide will give you a complete breakdown on how you can address all of these evaluation criteria and the required information for each one of the segment. However, the criteria will be covering novelty, technical feasibility, the team's capability and ability to execute, and the details of the proposed POC or pilot. All right, next slide. Cool. So with that, for those who have not visited the BEAMP site, please take a picture of the screen right now, or you can even scan the QR code right now. And then please take note that there will be an early submission deadline, which is on the 8th of October, next week, Wednesday. And early submission is critical for you to get very valuable feedback based on your submission. And this will allow you to further sharpen your submission and stand a better chance of being selected. So we strongly encourage you to put in your submission by next week. And from there, we still have some runway till the final closing on the 31st of October. In the midst of everything, if you still have any questions to clear, please email us at pm@parang.co.